the truth.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 6 of the No Limit podcast. I'm very excited to have my boy here. He's going to spit some knowledge for you guys, give you guys motivation, and really show you guys how he was able to get where he is right now. Everyone, please welcome my boy, Isaac Banks. How we doing, bro?
Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Isaac Banks in the house. I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm feeling great, feeling good. I'm ready to, run through everything I gotta say and everything, and all the sauce I have, all the nuggets I have, and what I went through during this journey of trading that I'm in so far. And yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, thank you, bro, for being here. My first question, I just want to, for people out there, what is your background? Where are you from? How old are you?
Bro, actually I'm Cuban and Nicaraguan. So I'm Hispanic, I'm Latin, and I'm currently 20 years old, and I'm from Miami, Florida.
Oh, sweet, bro. How's it out in Miami? You having fun? I know, out in Miami, there's a lot of networking opportunities, and that's one thing I see a lot, compared to the East Coast, compared to the West Coast, especially with trading, is just being around, those higher circles and networking with people that you kind of want to be around and be like. So, how is that in Miami?
Over here, I would say personally, if you know the right people and if you know the industry real good, and if you know the people that you're working with, and if they're very, I always say this when it comes to business, no matter what, you got to make sure you're working with people that have good intentions and that have that routine. You get me? Like
Hmm.
people who are leaders. You get me? Because at the end of the day, you want to surround yourself with leaders and winners, no matter what. But at the same time, you want to make sure they also have good intentions and good energy. So as long as you surround yourself with the right people, you will flow at the right vibration.
Hmm.
But I'll say over here, like there's a lot of money. You
Yeah.
get me? In Miami, there's a lot of money. There's a
Hmm.
lot of money. Like if you're in like I'll say like Miami, because I'm originally from Hialeah. You get me? That's where I was born and raised.
Cool.
But if you're originally like in Miami and like you're networking with a lot of people, it's really easy to make money out here. It really is because majority of the people out here are usually business owners or they do real estate or they're into like, just like higher level jobs or they're just business owners overall.
Hmm.
They either own a barber shop or a casino.
Yeah, dude.
Like you meet a couple people out here. It's really nice. But yeah, it's really easy to network, but you got to be confident with yourself,
Yeah.
100%. You got to be confident, you got to believe in yourself, and you got to be willing to meet people on your journey,
Yeah,
because
most
at the end
definitely.
of the day, your network is your net worth.
Yeah, 100%. Being around in that environment is really good. You always hear the saying of, you hang around three millionaires, you'll beat the fourth. So, that's one thing that I kind of had that like outside look at Miami is, the networking and all that type of stuff. But getting back to kind of trading, like when did you start trading? You're 20 years old. When was it when you kind of first kind of picked up on trading?
All right, so basically, I got into MLM companies.
Mm,
So as soon as I graduated from high school, I got into MLM companies, and basically I joined because they had trading and like different sources like e-commerce and crypto and a whole bunch of different topics. And back then I was getting into entrepreneurship, so I was just trying new things out and to see what I was going to pick up on first.
mm,
So I remember first before I got into trading, I was doing crypto. And then I saw like when I'll be investing into Bitcoin or Ethereum at the time when it was popping, like I was making like good profits and like good gains off of it on a weekly basis every 2 weeks, and I was withdrawing every time. So then I got to the point where like this academy that I was in at the time, they had trading also,
mm.
and a lot of the people around me were trading, but I didn't know how it worked. I wasn't too confident in it. But then when I realized that I was already making gains and taking withdrawals out of like my Coinbase wallet,
Mm.
and my Cash App from like the investments. I was just like, damn, like this is for real. Like this is for real.
Yeah.
Like once you start realizing, like once you start realizing that you can make money on your phone or on your laptop off of a platform, it's pretty dope because then it's like, okay, like this is possible if you could do this. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
So the people around me were trading at the time, and then they were trading and stuff. I'll say this was like late 2021. People around me were trading and stuff, and basically I saw it, and but I didn't take it for real. I didn't catch on to it at the time. I actually started taking trading for real. I'll say April 7th of 2022
April
was when I
7th,
started taking it for real. Yeah,
he knows the
2022.
exact day. Hell yeah.
Yeah, April 7th, 2022 is when I told myself I'm gonna take this seriously and make something out of it. Cause
Mm-hmm.
like when I was around it and stuff, like in the very beginning, like late 2021 when I was exposed to it. I didn't take it for real. My mind was somewhere else, but my mind was in the right places. So I was reading books at the time. I was, reading up like society. I was understanding like different perspectives. I was reading different books, like 40 Laws of Power, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Hmm.
I was reading a lot of like high level books at the time and understanding how society moved because I just overall just didn't have that winner's mentality mindset at a full capacity, like knowing the platforms and industries around us and etc. So it was first getting my mind right and getting
Hmm.
it and like tuned into that, like tapped into that like $1 million like mindset zone to understand that all of this is possible if you put your mind to it and you set yourself to do it. So at the end of the day, I read books first, I educated myself, and then from there, I remember like March, my cousin at the time like bought an FTMO of 2022 and he freaking passed the first one. Like he passed it like all in one, right?
Hmm.
And then he got paid out like he got his first payout and everything like within like it was like a month and 2 weeks. I remember he did it, and then around that time it was already like late March, and he was getting his first ever payout. Like in my head, I was just like, damn. I was like, wow, like if he's like doing it, like why can't I do it?
Hmm.
So then I remember like I bought my first challenge and then doing it, and then I failed, and then I bought another one and I failed, and I probably bought like maybe like five more again, and I failed all five, and I got to the point where I'm like, damn, like how's my cousin doing it, but I'm not doing it. So then I'd say it was like April 7th, 2022 when I came back from Vegas. So right before April 7th, 2022, when I actually took it seriously. I took a trip to Vegas, correct? And
Hmm.
this was back when I was in MLM and I was in my second MLM company, but I was already like leaving that company because I told myself I just want to focus on one thing. You
Hmm.
get me? I was already educated, I already knew how society works, and I just want to focus on trading at its full capacity. So I went on this to this convention in Vegas at the time for my MLM company, and I actually I it was like a 4-day event in Vegas. It was a whole bunch of different traders and educators and just people who were investing into crypto and different platforms like Web 3.0,
Hmm.
things like that, like people like that, like were speaking. So I was getting educated off all of that. But at the time, I was good friends with a kid there, and basically he knew a guy named Lewis, and basically Lewis was one of the speakers in this event because he was one of the educators at that time. And basically, I remember during that week, Lewis went up to my friend and he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna get Benny Hannes tomorrow. You should come over and you should bring your friend Isaac if he wants to come." So then he was like, "Hey, like, do you want to go?" I'm like, bet. So we went to Benihana's in Vegas. The following day for dinner, I met Lewis, which he's a great friend of mine now. Currently, he's a great trader also, and basically, me and Lewis ended up becoming good friends because after Vegas, he actually wanted to spar, and that's kind of how our friendship started, off of sparring. When we started going to the UFC gym, we are sparring like Monday through Thursday or like Monday through Friday, like every week nonstop.
Hmm.
And throughout this time span that me and Lewis were sparring, I was also getting mentorship at the time. I had my mentor at the time. His name was John Legaretta when I took this seriously. And basically, during that time period, I was studying, I was sparring, and I was getting to get to know, Lewis more. And I was also, putting in the work and trading at the time. I was studying and understanding and grasping everything. So I'll say it took me about 3 months to really get down like a certain session and a certain strategy that fit my trading like personal lifestyle. Not just that, like what I look for in the market, like my confluences, my confirmations. And what made it so crazy was this. So the point I'm trying to get to is when me and Lewis were sparring throughout this time, I say it's probably like the second or third week. It was probably like around May. It was like May, like maybe like May 1st or like May 2nd. I remember Lewis took me. I was in Lewis's car at the time, and I was on the passenger seat. We're going to a car wash, and literally he looks at me. He's like, "Hey man, like Isaac, like if you're already trading, and if you're already confident with your setups and you're hitting, like why don't you start a Telegram?" And then I was just like, "Damn, bro, like I don't think I don't think I'm meant for that, Like you get me? I
Yeah,
did
you're
something like
still
that.
new to it. Yeah, you don't know.
And then he was like, bro, like, what do you mean, bro? Like, if you're hitting, like, just like, start a free channel for 3 months. Send out the link, share with everybody, like, tell people to join, and just run it up. You get me? And stay consistent. And then I was like, bro, I think we should do this for another day.
Yeah,
And then he literally looked at me and he was like, Isaac, literally, like, this is what snapped into my mind at the time. He's like, Isaac, if you don't start now, then when will you start?
mm,
So when he told me that, it really opened up my eyes and made me realize, damn, he has a big point. If I don't start now, when will I start? Because
exactly.
majority of society, they always say, I'm gonna start now. but sometimes they just don't start now. You get me? They wait till next week or 3 months or a year, whatever the situation is. So at that very moment, like within seconds, I'm like, damn, like he has a point. I'm like, you know what, bro? Like create it for me. He's like, all right, bet. Like he's like, let me get your phone. He got my phone. Like he's like, what do you want to call it? I called it at the time Epic Sharks Club. That was like the
Love
original
it.
name when I started. And then I ran it up, from that point on, I was shooting out signals. I was shooting out my like literally like the whole like trading view chart, like my markups. And bro, I was doing London at the time.
Uh-huh.
So I was doing London, I was doing all of these pairs at once, and I started realizing that I was hitting on majority of them, which was great. But the thing about it was that I can't like it got to a point where so there will be some days that I was very up, and then there'll be some days I was very down.
Hmm.
And the reason why is because there was just too many pairs at once that I was doing, and I didn't grasp that into my mind at the time because my risk management just wasn't there at the time, like on a heavy note, you know. So then basically, I started the Telegram. We launched it, and then he told me the main thing about being consistent with the Telegram was show leadership. Show up every day,
Hmm.
like be every day in your chat, act like and like do it, so from that point on, I was active every single day. I never missed a day. I was always doing back to back, like just signals back to back, and the majority of them were hitting. But as I said, it got to a point where I didn't have risk management. I was doing all of these pairs at once. So there'll be some days I had big gainers, and then some days I had big losses, and I didn't grasp it in at the time when I was trading. So then basically it got to a point where I had to like understand risk management. I had to put in risk management, and I learned this off of my mentor at the time, John Margareta.
Hmm.
He basically showed me a 1 to 3, like a 1 to 3 risk ratio, and he explained it to me. How it's like 20 pip stop loss, and then 20 pip TP1, 40 pip TP2, and then TP3 6 pips. And he showed me, like pushing your stop loss when you're in profits, and just controlling it at the moment. Because the thing about like what I realized about trading so far in my journey is this: you could have everything marked up, and your confirmations could all be there, but at the end of the day, the moment you execute that trade and your life in there, it's like whatever happens, happens. You need to understand that once you're in there, you're in there.
Hmm.
And from that point on, whether if you take a loss or if you take a W, move forward. So I had to start learning to only like, be taking at least 1 to 2 trades a day. And aside from taking 1 to 2 trades a day, also knowing that, just because if I made 2% this day or 1% doesn't mean to keep trading, you
Hmm.
know, because sometimes you get overconfident and you're like, oh, I just made 1%. I want to make 3%. And it's like, okay, I just made 3% now. It's like, oh, I can make 4 now. And then out of nowhere, you just lost the whole 3% you just made,
Yeah.
you know? So, you gotta like think about that. A lot of people a lot of people have that issue, you
Hmm.
know. Sometimes they're good, but then they overtrade and then they
Yeah.
lose it all.
Yeah.
It's like boom, square one. Here we go again. So I've realized in trading, like a lot of people have different issues, but as long as you keep it very, very simple, you could really you could get through this.
Hmm.
But I realized also the main part about this is the discipline. You must have discipline. Without discipline, you won't be able to make it far in this at all.
Yeah.
Without
Discipline is
discipline,
key.
without discipline, you're gonna majority of the time you're gonna fail because of the fact that you can't control yourself. You can't control your choices. You get me?
Hmm.
Because when you have discipline, you know how to control your choices at all times, no matter what. But without it, you're not going to be able to control it because you're going to end up being just like everybody else who does not have discipline in their life.
Hmm.
And, discipline goes a far way aside from trading, especially in life, when it comes to the gym, when it comes to studying, when it comes to, doing work, when it comes to like meetings, when it comes to, masterminding, whatever the topic is, you must have discipline in majority of the areas in your life because it will make life easier and it will make everything around you just simpler, like just simple overall, like simple, like just keep it simple,
Yeah, most
everything
definitely.
will become simple, you know.
Yeah, discipline is key. And
So,
once again, like you said, it'll make things easier in life because if you have discipline, everything kind of comes easy to you because you don't get too high, you don't get too low about certain things. You just have the discipline to keep going. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to kind of bring it back to what you were saying about like that winning mindset because, like you said, kind of leading up to April 2022, you weren't taking it as seriously. What was that mindset kind of shift that made you take that jump to start taking it seriously? Because, in my opinion, there's a lot of people out there that like trade a lot and think that they're really like making progress and that type of stuff, but in my opinion, they still don't have that winner's mindset to really take it, look at it as a business, and start taking trading seriously. So, what was that jump that you made to start having that winner mindset?
Well, when I made that jump at the time, I already knew what leadership was like. So I already knew how to lead by example. It was just me applying.
Hmm.
That's it. So I realized taking it to like that business like point where I can make a career out of this was basically me telling myself, okay, I'm doing this, I'm actually, making profits, I'm actually, getting good gains off of this. How far can I exceed? What else can I add to this? What more value can I bring? That will also bring more money. So of course, me starting the Telegram and me doing my free channel for I did the free channel for 3 months. Yeah, 3 months, and I maybe brought in like 150 people.
Hmm.
You know, something like that, like 150 subscribers, and then like imagine like at least 20 to 30 people were taking my trades. So
Yeah.
it was lit. Because I was hitting and I could say what really motivated me a lot was the fact that my DMs were freaking flooded, bro. Like when I say flooded, like it was just everybody who was taking my trades, like congratulating me, like bro,
Yeah.
like good,
Excited.
good shit this week, like good shit this week, like you did amazing, bro, like you're killing it, like etc. Just I feel the love, I feel the energy,
Hmm.
So I'm very big on energy and all that, and I feel like, bro, like when you're really pushing yourself to exceed to the next level and you're really trying to set an example and set a standard and a tone so everybody else is going to follow along, and that's going to make you feel good inside, and everybody else is just going to follow you because you're the leader, you get me?
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where, as you said, like once you make a career out of this, like you want to lead by example, you want to show up every day, you want to be the first one. I look like this in life, you always want to be the one that's the earliest one, like awake before everybody else, and you want to be like you want to go to bed after everyone else. So you got to view it in those two ways, no matter what, because of the fact that you want to show that you're the hardest worker. You get me?
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you're a hard worker, it's good to work hard, but you got to also remember you're gonna get tired of doing hard work.
Hmm.
You get me? And it's gonna get to a point where I gotta work smart now. I gotta work smart. I gotta know how I'm gonna, structure this, and I gotta know how I'm gonna keep this going forward. Because yeah, it's cool to shoot out signals for like 2 months, but what else are you doing? So it got to a point where I started doing like my London sessions,
Hmm.
on Zoom in my chat. I got to a point where I was also like doing weekly like breakdowns, on the GJ at the time. Like that's the main pair I started trading. At that time of my life, after I said like I'm not like no more am I gonna trade like all of these pairs. I was like, you know what, like it's time to just stick to GJ, and I'm gonna just commit to this pair during London because of the fact that every single session I would always get about 20 to 40 pips on GJ, and it was the quickest thing that I would catch between 2 to 3 a.m. Like I'll say from like June of like 2022 going all the way to freaking like September of 2022.
Hmm.
I was snapping on GJ like heavy, like literally like
Shout out
if you
DJ.
were to go into yeah, if you're to yeah, for real, if you were to go into my chat room and swipe all the way up, you'll see the history. Like it's insane, bro.
Yeah.
I went through those moments, I was hitting like just all three TPs back to back to back to back. But then what also made me love this more was the fact that I would have those weeks where I lost.
Hmm.
I would have those days that I lost, you get me?
Humbling. Yeah.
And yeah, absolutely. Because I also realized the same way how you could be all the way up here is within seconds you can lose it all over again.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because you got to be grateful for the gains that you have overall.
Hmm.
Because me personally, I usually aim for 1% a day, but hey, sometimes like if I only make 0.5 or 0.8 or maybe 0.2, it is what it is. I'm grateful, I'm blessed, and let's move on to the next trade.
Yeah,
You got me?
100%. You don't have to give all the sauce, but if you had to kind of dumb down your strategy and give it in simple words, like what do you kind of trade? How do you trade? Is it breakouts, kind of retracements, or what kind of, how do you trade?
Okay, well, at the moment, I've been trading gold only at the moment as we speak. I've been
Nice.
trading gold for probably like the last like 3 4 months. And usually what I look for on gold or just like usually retracements, when price like does like a liquidity like sweep out, or like let's say if there's a certain area where liquidity was collected on a heavy note, and let's say if I know it's gonna like sweep out, let's say for like a fair value gap,
Hmm.
I hop in that for that second entry. If you know what a fair value gap is, it's when like that big candle forms, like, and then it goes up, and then it matches it, and then it breaks down, and then it matches it again, and then boom, it flies up again.
Hmm.
You get me?
Yeah, when it fills the fair
So
value gap. Yeah.
yeah. So of course, once you see that like that second candle, like that's coming down and it's filling in, it's like, bro, you're in there no matter what.
Hmm.
Why? Because it's like majority of the time, like I feel like 95% of the time it's valid. You get me?
Hmm.
So that's usually what I look for a lot. For value gaps, like just liquidity sweeps, areas where liquidity was collected, and where like it could be collected again. You get me? Because sometimes like I could see price basically like, okay, like let's say my supply and demand zone. Like let's say if I'm trading smart money concepts, if I have my supply and demand zone, I already know that when price hits my supply zone, it's a possibility that I can hop in for a sell. You get me?
Hmm.
Depending on what angle we're looking at from a sell side or from a buy side. You get me? So it really just depends on the situation. Majority of the time, all I look for are three confluences,
Hmm.
which is basically when price hits my demand or supply zone, what I'm gonna do from there. Number two is if my SMAs are crossing at
Hmm.
the moment. So I have the 10, the 50, the 100, and 200 SMAs. And usually when the 10 and the 50 cross, majority of the time price tends to reverse. And if you
Hmm.
catch that, that's nice.
Hmm.
And then aside from that, it's basically news. I look at the news, bro.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
just looking for
you gotta look at
direction.
news.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you're big into
Absolutely.
fundamentals.
All day. You
Yeah, yeah,
have
yeah.
to.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I feel like fundamentals are major,
Hmm.
major, major.
So you said that you mostly trade gold, and gold can be kind of a tough pair to trade. Losses come with wins. You've kind of been able, obviously, at this point, to be able to be pretty profitable with gold. But how
Yeah.
were you able to kind of withstand those L's and kind of overcome those losses to kind of still have that mindset to keep going? Because once again, when you take a loss, especially with gold and how volatile it is, it can really mess with your psychology. So how are you able to
Absolutely.
kind of overcome that?
So I realize like sometimes like especially training with fundamentals and let's say you're on gold, like if like if your fundamentals are right but your setup is wrong, you're gonna end up losing,
Yeah,
and it sucks.
yeah,
It really sucks because it's like, damn, like like I thought I had it. You think you have everything, but it's just sometimes it might just not go your way,
yeah.
you know?
It happens. It's trading.
Um, and for the most part, I'll say this, like dealing with the losses, I look like this. In the beginning, it's tough because you don't have risk management.
Yeah.
You get me? But throughout time, once you make the risk management and once you have that trading plan that you follow every day and that you're disciplined to, it's not gonna hurt you. It's not gonna hurt you as it did at the beginning because now like you're probably going in like one position or two positions with a certain lot size that you have picked out, whether if you're risking 1% or 0.50% or if you're risking 2%, whatever the situation is at the moment. Um, it really just it changes the game overall because now it's like, okay, let's say for instance on gold, let's say if right now me being crazy, I go in for 3.0 lot size,
Hmm.
correct? I know automatically with a 3.0, I'm aiming for about, let's say, I'm aiming for about 35 pips,
Hmm.
you get me, which is
Clean.
3.5 points. That's
Hmm.
usually what I'll be aiming for.
That's definitely great, bro. Hearing your strategy and how you've been, become profitable. And once again, not
Yeah.
just with
'Cause-
strategy, it comes to mentality. And,
No,
how is,
absolutely.
yeah. So, how are you able to kind of like work on your mentality and work on your psychology while also, once again, everyone can, learn a strategy and it could be a profitable strategy. But a lot of the time when it comes to psychology, you're closing early, you're not holding to when you should, you're closing, maybe even in profit when you shouldn't be. How are you able to kind of stray away from that type of stuff?
So I've understood throughout time that, bro, 1% keeps me away. You get me? So once I make my 1% for the day, like I'm done.
Hmm.
Like on to the other things I have during the routine. You get me? Because I do have a set routine of what I do throughout the day to keep me, productive and to keep my mind active and just how I go along my day. Whether if I have automatically after trading, I'm gonna go to the gym, or after trading, I'm gonna go study. I'm gonna go review what I did this morning.
Hmm.
You know, and after that, I'll probably, have, lunch or breakfast, whatever. Well, no, okay. Well, if I'm trading New York, right after, yeah, majority of the time I'm having lunch. You got me? Because
Hmm.
after New York, I'll probably be done by like 10:30 or 11, and then I'll probably be like going to the kitchen, cooking something up, probably some eggs or something, and then munching out. And then after that, probably reviewing, studying, and then from there, probably going to the gym or either like a meeting or a Zoom call or maybe like a one-on-one mentorship call that I have with a client that day.
Mm-hmm.
It usually depends on like what's going on. And then after that, usually I'll probably like read like 10 pages, 10 to 15 pages of whatever book I'm reading at the time.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, I'm currently reading The Human Laws of Nature by Robert
Nice.
Greene. It's a really good book. I highly recommend it. If you guys don't know about Robert Greene, he's a really good author. He has a lot of great books. And I feel like in life, once you study the laws of the universe, you understand your purpose and you understand why you do what you do and why you move the way you move.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And it's really important to have a routine. In your opinion, how important is it having a routine and kind of having a day to day, planning your day out and kind of knowing what you're going to do throughout the day?
Well, I feel like it's really is like having a routine overall is really important because of the fact that, you must know what you're gonna do, throughout the week because at the end of the day, you got to remember our minds run off of dopamines.
Mm-hmm.
And, sometimes, when our dopamines are high up, we have high energy, but sometimes when our dopamines are low, we have low energy. And the thing that sucks about it is that you could have high energy for like maybe 2 weeks straight, 3 weeks straight, but then you might have like a day there, 2 days there that your dopamines are low and you're trying to have this high energy, but like your dopamines aren't allowing you to have this high energy because it's like your body is like you're going through something, like life
Mm-hmm.
is like you're either going through something or something's happening in life, or you're in a situation, you're trying to understand like why am I going through this? Whether if it's a relationship with someone, financial, family, etc. Because at the end of the day, like trading's great, it's amazing, but we all have our lives here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I look at trading like this is the platform to take you off on other platforms if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So if how to like, become profitable and if you know how to withdraw on a weekly base or every 2 weeks out of your live account and keep that going on a consistent base, from that point on, the next question is, what are you doing with the money?
Mm-hmm.
Are you spending too much of it outside or are you spending it, investing it into the right things to make you more money?
Mm-hmm.
Because I look at it like this. I love trading. It's amazing because this is what's going to make you money at a good pace if you know what you're doing
Mm-hmm.
and if you're following your trading plan. And it's like what I love about this is like, it's like this. You could lose 3 days out of the week, but if you win those 2 other days out of the week, those 2 days will cover the loss. Plus, you probably make 2% over that, or
Mm-hmm.
1% over that, depending on how much you're risking. But it's possible, and the possibilities of this are endless. You know what? When I had my first ever withdrawal in this, the best thing I ever felt was I remember I was at the barber shop at the time. I was yeah, at the time, yeah, I was 20 at the time, and basically I remember literally, like, yeah, I just turned 20 at the time. I remember literally, I was at the barbershop getting a haircut. The withdrawal hits my Coinbase account. And when I saw the money, like, just there on my Coinbase account, I was like, no way. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, no way. Like in my head, I was just like, no way. Like, this is for real. Like here I am doing it again, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And then from that point on, I was like, bro, like like I could do something with this. Like that's how I felt at the time. I'm like, I could do something with this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I could either, go out and spend this on dumb things, or I could reinvest this money and make more money out of it. So at the
Mm-hmm.
time I was just like, like I had a lot of friends that were like doing different things, like, like e-commerce stores, like freaking like I have friends that also do like designer like clothes, like they design clothes. I have friends that like freaking build studios in like different places in Miami, like if you want to be like start your own studio,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. I have friends that like like I do car rentals, so there's just so many different things that I could do because I was already making enough capital at the time and I was stacking it up, stacking up a lot of my money. And I literally like what I got into was literally I invested into my boy's Amazon store at the time, and he was like, "Hey man, like I'm willing to give you this percent of the store if you invest this, and I'll control all of it for you, and you take this." And I was like, "You know what, bro? You're trustworthy. You've always been a good person. You've always had pure intentions. You've always done good business with other people, and you have good face. Let's do it."
Mm-hmm.
You get me? So of course, and like knowing where your money goes after you withdraw it from your broker account, whether if it's Hugo's Way, Hero, Athens, whatever broker you trade on, etc. Knowing what you're doing with the money right after really matters.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes a lot of people might make like 10K, or something like that, drastic amount, and then you withdraw it, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna go have fun. And then after that, you completely forget about investing it because you just
Yeah.
had all this fun, you know. And it's like at the end of the day, bro, in the back of your head, it's like you got to be one step ahead of yourself no matter what,
Yeah.
because you know, as I said, the same way how you just made that 10K, the same way how you lose it all in seconds,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what, whether if it's in real life or in the account. You
Mm-hmm.
get me? It goes both ways, you know.
Yeah.
So you got to really think about that. You know, your money management, it's crucial, you know, because without money management in life, bro, you're gonna fail. And I have it in my bio, you know, people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like that's one of the biggest things in society because so many people want to do all these big things in their lives and they want to go into all this, but where's the plan? You
Yeah.
get me? So then when they fail, they're like, why am I failing?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, it's like, buddy, you need to have the plan to make it there, you know?
Yeah.
It's like how do you build a plane, but there's no engine?
Yeah.
You get me?
Oh, there's no
Like you
blueprint on
gotta,
how to build the
yeah,
plane. Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. Like it's so crucial because in life, you must majority of the time, majority of the people who have plans in this life and go into things end up succeeding.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because there's steps.
Yeah.
You took the levels that go into this. You get me? There's levels to everything. You
Yeah.
get me? From you making your first $50 in a day in trading to you making your first 300 in a day to then making 800 in a day to then making $1,000 a day trading
Yeah.
and then to making 10K a day trading. You know, so there's levels. There is levels. You get me? And you got to understand that, like, during these levels, you will face obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
110%, you will face obstacles. You know, because you know, as you said in trading, you know, your psychology is crucial. You
Mm-hmm.
know, your fundamentals are crucial. Your technicals are crucial. Are crucial. You get me? There's so many factors that are crucial and you got to be aware of all of this at once.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as simple as it looks, it could be really hard, but once you do this after a certain period of time, it becomes really easy. Because at the end of the day in life, once we master something, I always say this: it's great to master one thing, but now let's master five more things. You get
Yeah.
me? Let's master the next thing. You know. So once you master trading, okay, cool. Let's go master real estate. You
Yeah.
know,
What's
or
next?
like like what's next? You get me? Like let's go master like like flipping cribs, or let's go master, like making more Amazon stores, or let's go master making a freaking a logistics warehouse. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go make more money. You know, because at the end of the day, I look at life as, yeah, I might be happy to have maybe whatever it is like 2 to 300K in my account, but maybe I want $1 million. You get me? Like, how am
Mm-hmm.
I gonna get to that 1 mil? And then once I hit the 1 mil, after it being so hard and such a long process, where's the 10 mil? Like, how do I make 10 mil now? You get
Mm-hmm.
me? So at the end of the day, you need to consistently keep your dopamines high and be productive and always chase that greatness no matter what, bro. Because when you have that faith and belief and you believe in yourself and you're doing it and you walk around and you say that you're doing it and you are doing it, bro, there's no better feeling. Like nobody could stop you. Like you literally feel invincible. Like once you feel invincible in this industry, bro, and you're doing it on your own, who's stopping you from accomplishing the next level? Who's stopping you from getting the McLaren? Who's
No,
stopping you from getting the
exactly.
C8? You know, who's
No,
stopping you from getting a penthouse? You know,
I 100% agree, dude. When if you're not faking it and you really are walking around chest out and you really feel like you're making it in this industry, and dude, it's the best feeling ever. But I really like
yeah,
that quote that you're talking about, that like people fail to plan. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like having a plan is so crucial, and like, a lot of you guys out there have really good ideas, but put a plan to it. Create a plan and actually execute steps to accomplish that plan, because if, a dream is, you can dream about whatever you want, but to actually make it come true, you got to put in the work and you got to plan it out and, have success and all that type of stuff. But going back earlier to, like, you have friends doing in like the sneaker industry, doing Amazon stores and all that type of stuff. Like, how important is it to you, your surrounding and kind of your circle? You know what I'm saying? When in this, not even in this industry, just being an entrepreneur, like who you surround yourself with.
I feel like overall your circle is literally like it's crucial.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the same way how life is crucial, your circle is crucial,
Mm-hmm.
super duper crucial. Why? Because if you hang around, four bad influences, majority of the time you might be the next bad influence,
Yeah.
you know. And if you hang around, three or four great influences, majority of the time you might be the fifth great influence or the fourth great influence.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it as in this life, okay, in this life, you must study the laws of the universe no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
You must study the laws of the universe. Now, once you study and once you grasp it and understand how this life works, from that point on, it's okay. I must study the people I surround myself with. You know, do these people really, fuck with me for who I am? Or do these people just fuck with me because of the money and what I provide and what I have?
Yeah.
You get me? So I guess to that point where you got to really realize who are your true friends and who are the fake ones, and who are the ones that are gonna benefit you and uplift you, and who are the ones who are gonna like take you down. So you must pick your friends wisely, no matter what, because at the end of the day, when you're around some big entrepreneurs and they all have good intentions and they're fucking with you, bro, that's a blessing.
Yeah.
That's truly a blessing.
Hmm.
You get me? Because at the end of the day, being an entrepreneur, you don't need to associate with a lot of people. You
Yeah.
really don't. You could literally just know 2 to 3 powerful people on this earth and live your life.
Yeah.
Simply like that. But yeah, so as you're meeting these big entrepreneurs, you got to realize at the same time, it's a lot of big people, and you got to see how they move and the intentions, no matter what. So it plays a big role, who you're dealing with and knowing who really like fucks with you and who doesn't. And in the entrepreneur game, as I said, all you need to know is like 3 to 4 big people, and that's all you really need. And from that point on, it's just chasing the greatness and chasing what they're doing. Like what investments do they have that I could make money off of. So it's just spreading your network and enjoying your network. At the end of the day, with the people that you love the most. So I
Yeah.
I really value like the people that you have around you, but at the same time, it's like all like yeah, it's great to know all these big entrepreneurs, but your relationship really does matter with all of them.
Yeah.
Because the way you make them feel, the like what you know about them, like their favorite things, etc. Like I'll say straight up, like before the money even like comes in, it's just all about the relationship, and then the money could come in right after. But the relationship matters first before you become really, like good friends with someone, or become a partner with them, or you partner with them, and like whatever business it is. The relationship is super duper crucial in
Yeah.
the very beginning.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that statement. Kind of going back to like trading, like what made you want to become a trader in the first place? Like, was it the freedom, was it the lifestyle? Did you just enjoy like, marking up charts? What was it that really got you into trading and made you want to become a full-time trader?
To be honest, it was the lifestyle.
Yeah,
It
trader
was in
lifestyle.
reality, it was the lifestyle. It really was the lifestyle. Seeing what's possible, and then when me and Lewis actually became great friends at the time. Like I'm gonna make a year now. Like yeah, like next week I'll make a year of like when I met Lewis and everything.
Hmm.
Um, what makes it so crazy is that when I met Lewis at the time, he was living in a penthouse in the Doral. The Doral's more like deep to like the city, like Florida, but it's just like maybe like I'll say like 10, 15 minutes away from Miami,
Hmm.
but it's more in. You get me? So at the time, he was living at a penthouse in the Doral. And when he brought me into his penthouse and he showed me his setup and he showed me where he does his footage and everything, like just me seeing it in my own eyes and just being there, I was just like, bro, like this is possible. You get
Yeah,
me? I was
this
there
looks
like this is
fun.
possible. You get me? And then not just that, since Lewis like he trades his live capital on his live account,
Hmm.
he was showing me his profits here and there on his phone. And yo, this kid hit some big trades. He was hitting
Yeah.
like 10K, 20K, things like that. And I was just like, wow, like this is insane. Like this kid's
Hmm.
right, like my own sparring partner is right next to me, like doing it like that.
Hmm.
I'm just like, bro, like his knowledge is just off of this earth because of the experience he has. He's been in the industry for like I think like 4 years now,
Hmm.
3 years, maybe 5 years, something like that. But like to have a lot of experience, you know a lot. Since you know a lot, and especially when you're profitable, you know how to make those big gains. So just being able to see it from another trader's from another perspective made me really like want to take this more seriously because it's like, damn, if he's doing it, why can't I do it? So what's so crazy about it is that this same year, well, yeah, well, this new year, 2023 now, he ended up moving out of the Doral. Now he has a freaking penthouse, like a couple blocks away from here in Miami. He lives right in front of the arena. And not just that, he turned in his BMW at the time. He had an R8. He tuned it all the way out,
Yeah.
freaking went ham on it. And then not just that, his Corvette just came in,
Yeah.
you know. So seeing someone right next to me that I physically know and I work out with, here and there, and I've trained with before, seeing him doing it lets me know why can't I do it?
Yeah.
Like if he's doing it, how can I do it?
Yeah.
That's why I look at it. If he's doing it, how can I do it? And if we're in the same industry, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah. It's just how hard you work.
Absolutely. So having other big like traders around me that have, bigger results than me, and seeing what they're doing, it goes to let me know that I'm next.
Yeah.
I'm next. I'm next. Why am I next? Because I basically, I have my routine. I follow my plan just like everybody else,
Hmm.
and everybody's doing it. I'm already doing it, and it's just gonna get bigger than what it is. You get me? So it's like I've understood hitting these goals throughout my journey. Um, it took time, it took practice, it took a bit like visualization. It took a lot of like belief. It took a
Hmm.
lot of like
Believing in
knowing the laws of the
yourself.
universe.
Yeah.
Believing in yourself for the most part. I say number one thing to becoming successful, no matter what, is believing in yourself.
Hmm.
Once you believe in yourself, you're gonna go far. But now I say this too, another thing to becoming very like successful in this life is knowing what your purpose is on this earth.
Hmm.
If you do not know your purpose, then your majority of the time, I don't want to say majority, but majority of the time, you will not make it, not exceed as far as successful as you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Why? Because once you know your purpose, now you fall in love with the passion, and now you know why you do it and what you do it for, and now you just stay consistent.
Hmm.
So that's the beauty of it. You gotta, like understand what your purpose is. Why am I doing this? Who am I doing it for?
And then be
And
consistent.
yeah, be consistent from that point on. You get me? So it's really knowing your purpose, believing yourself, and working hard, man.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, man. Like not just that, like also knowing, like, bro, when I was 18, I was working 3 jobs. You get me?
Hmm.
I was working 3 jobs at the time of my life. I was doing what UPS, Amazon, and a day job at the warehouse. You get me? So I was doing 3 jobs at the time. I did that for about 11 months of my life before I turned 19, I remember. And going through that experience, wow, like it showed me what hard work really was. Like literally, I'll say that was a time of my life where I barely got sleep, like
Yeah.
no type of sleep. Like, bro, literally, I probably only got like 2 hours of sleep,
That's crazy.
like every single, like 2 to 3 hours of sleep every single, like Monday through Friday. And then sometimes on Sundays I'll work also, but it was just like, I was so hungry at that time in my life. I had so many high ambitions. I was so hungry that I literally just wanted to like stack up this bread, and like once I get tired of doing this, and invest,
Yeah.
invest into like different opportunities, invest into trading, invest into whatever I could at the time, so this was all going through my mind, and and it paid off.
Hmm.
It all paid off. Everything paid off at the end of the day. So going through the struggles in the very beginning, going through the process, I feel like to become successful in this life, you need to go through the process. You
Hmm.
need to understand what it is to be in the trenches, to be in the bottom, to be in the very like I'm in the dirt, and I got to figure out how to get clean.
Yeah. How to
I
get
got to
out.
figure out how to get clean, how to get out. So bro, working 3 jobs really pushed me and exceeded me to become the person I am today, and with everything that I do. So, I'm really grateful that I went through that time of my life, because that's what I needed to really boost me to exceed in this entrepreneurship journey that I've been on.
Hmm.
With all of my investments, just overall the people I've met, the partners I've created throughout time, everybody, man. Like I could say, bro, straight up, bro, like some like okay, like for instance, my partner Gio,
Hmm.
his great friend, best friend Max. It's so crazy how we just all everything lines up with one. As I said, the universe is crazy. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So I remember when I did my first ever withdrawal in trading. At the time, I didn't have a partner or anything like that. I didn't know anybody. I was just on my like. But this is like right. This was literally like right when I started the Telegram, and I remember literally my friend Max. Well, he's my great friend now, but at the time I didn't know Max at all. So Max's girlfriend at the time, she basically saw my story because I posted my withdrawal. I did.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had to show people what I just
First, yeah,
did.
you're like
You know,
sugar.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I posted it. My boy's girl, well, my one of my great friends right now, his girl at the time, she saw my story. She's like, "Hey, babe, like, look at this kid. Like, he just did like a withdrawal. Like, what are you doing?"
Hmm.
At that time, Max was like at a very like low point of his life,
Yeah.
and he was going through a lot of things at the time. He wasn't trading like my friend Max, he's been trading for like 4 or 5 years, but the first 2 years, I think it was, or like the first 3 years, like he was popping like hard, like crazy, and then he had one year where he just freaking everything flopped, like he just fell off,
That
and
happens.
then
Yeah.
and then literally that one year, that's when me and Max met.
Hmm.
So it was so crazy. Tori shows Max, and then Max sees it, and then he's like, I'm gonna DM this kid. So then Max DMs me that same day. He's like, hey man, like, how'd you do it? You know,
Yeah.
what's the secret behind it? And I'm like, bro, like I was new. I was new into trading at the time, and
Hmm.
it was so funny. I'm like, bro, I use I use these like these comp tips I found on Google, and I send them like a couple PDFs on Google. Da
Yeah.
da 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 da. And he was just like literally like I didn't know this, but that same day, like when he saw everything I sent him, he literally questioned. He's like, how is he doing it and I'm not doing it?
Yeah.
Literally. He was like, how is he doing it and I'm not doing it like that? So then from that point on, like me and Max were just DMing each other, like back and forth, maybe for like the next 6 months. Because like we live like we both at the time, like we both lived here in Florida, but we're just DMing each other back and forth. And then basically, um, when was it? Yeah, it was May. It was May of last year. It was May 10th of last year was my birthday. It was my birthday week. It's probably like May 15th, I think, or like May 16th. It was a Friday night. And I remember I got a section at a club here in Miami, and I posted it up on my story like to invite like more people to like to the section. And Max was one of the people who swiped up. You know, as I said, me and Max were just DMing each other. That's it. So Max swipes up. He's like, "Hey man, like I want to slide. Like, what's up?" And I'm like, "Oh, bro, you're invited, bro. 100%. Like, you know, like, bro, you're cool as hell. Like, slide. Like, pull through."
Yeah.
So whatever. So that same day, that same night, he pulls up to the club, comes into my section. I say what's up to him. I'm like, bro, I finally meet you. It's been like 8, 10 months. Like, what's up, dog?
Yeah.
And then he was like, bro, like tell me about yourself. And then right there, like I started telling him about myself, like my whole journey and stuff, like everything I've gone through, etc. Like the hard work,
Yeah.
da 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 da, like where I was at my life at that time. And then he was like, bro, well, I've gone through this, and that. And he was telling me about like his lows at the time and what he was going through and etc. And like what he went through already. And I was just like, wow, bro, like such a young guy like you, like having that high peak of success and then like losing it all, but like right now, like working your way up again,
Hmm.
pretty impressive, you know, because like sometimes people could take losses crucial, you know, and they can't snap out of it, you
Hmm.
know. So you know, like me and Max just literally like right there, like we just clicked and we became boys. And then my at the time, um my cousin Jesse was there. He also trades, you know, and he's also a great other trader there. He was like talking to Max, and then they became tight. And then after that night, like Max was like, "Bro, straight up, like, maybe like next month or 2 months, I need to introduce you to two of my boys. And bro, like, you're cool as hell. Like, I can't wait to like see you again, bro." And I'm like, "Dollar, bro, like." I was nice, like you know, you being here for my birthday. I was getting drunk, like I had a great time. Yeah. So then 2 months go by, and then whatever, we all meet up at Five Guys, here in Miami, and then literally he brings his friend Gio and his other friend Teo, right? So at the time, Gio was also like going through one of his phases in his life, and I found out that Gio traded at the same time, just like Max. I found out that Gio and Max were actually like 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 business partners back in the days,
Hmm.
when they were doing like their like Discord and stuff, like back in like I think like 2020, like early 2020, 2019, around there,
Hmm.
and whatever. So I remember I meet these two guys at Five Guys. I'm with my cousin Jesse, and we're all there talking. You know, I know Max trades, I know Geo trades now, and then I find out that our boy Teo, like he sells like some products, some like suits, some gym suits, to a gym there called the Impulse, and it's really good for you. But aside from that, everybody there is already into something. You know, everybody there was like into entrepreneurship. So that's one thing I caught on quick that I like. You know, that caught my attention. Boom. Like I see value. You get me? So I always say this, like people you talk to, like you gotta find that value. You
Hmm.
know, if someone doesn't have value, why are you talking to them? You get me?
Yeah.
Like not even to be rude, but it's just true. Like, you know, if someone doesn't have value, this conversation should not go more than like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You get me? Like on to the next person, you know?
Yeah.
So like within like 10 minutes there, like I found out what everybody was doing and stuff. I'm like, okay, this is cool, you know. So then from that point on, you know, my Telegram was popping at the time. I was, you know, having a great time with my life. You know, I was doing great and everything. I literally told Gio and Max, I'm like, hey man, why don't you guys start your own Telegram and like just run it up? Like everybody has their own channel now. Like let's do it.
Yeah.
And you know, and then they did it. You know, and then from that point on, they started doing it, and then they started becoming consistent with their trading. And then since they already knew how to trade, like you know, like they already know what they're doing. It's just consistency and discipline, you know. And you know, there'll be times they'll miss, and I'll keep them accountable. You know, because I don't know, I grew a lot of love for Max, and then you know I grew a lot of love for Gio. You know, and yeah, bro, it's so crazy because then They became consistent. They started getting good at it again. And then I remember I took off onto a cruise like the first week of October of 2022, I think it was. I took off on a cruise to go to Mexico. I had a blast. And then I remember as soon as I got off that cruise, I was like, when I was in Mexico, I was asking myself questions like, what can I do to make my business better than what it was at the time? Because I was doing the Zoom calls, the signals, the breakdowns, like everything, like
Mm-hmm.
everything that a channel could provide. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing everything. My one-on-one mentorship. I was making good money, and every like I had maybe 30 or 40 members at the time, like subscribed, and it was pretty dope, bro. And I remember literally when I was getting off of this cruise, I questioned myself like, what can I do to make this business better?
Mm-hmm.
What's the best thing I could do? So I knew Gio was doing New York session, because he only trades in New York, and I knew that he only traded US 30 and like just indices like NAS 100, S&P 500. That's all he trades, nothing else. You know, and not just that, he has a completely different strategy than me. You get me? This kid tries this. He trades. This kid trades ICT,
Mm-hmm.
creates ICT, and that's a strategy. So I was like, damn, like this is really dope. And not just that, like, throughout the weeks of me seeing like, the way he trades and stuff, I'm like, damn, like he's like that. Like when someone's like that when they're like that. You
Yeah,
get me?
yeah, yeah,
So,
100%.
so I was like, yo, he's like that. He became consistent. He's doing everything good. Like, why can't he just come over here and just partner up with me? I'm gonna run up London session. You do New York, and we're gonna keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever. So when I got off my cruise, I came back to Miami, met up with Gio, like first person I met up with. I'm like, yo, straight up, bro. Like, I think me and you should be partners. This is my offer. Like, let's run it up. This is the vision I see. This is what I see for me and you, and I believe in us. And then he was like, yo, straight up, bro, I believe in us too. And I was like, bro, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then boom, right there we collided. And then I didn't like, of course I could say throughout time our relationship has gotten way better and way higher than what it's been, no matter what, because in the beginning I didn't know too much about him. I didn't know like deeply who he was, how he moves, etc. But of course, if you're my partner and I see you every day and we're consistently like working and studying, I'm gonna understand who the person is, I'm gonna
Yeah.
understand how you move. So, from that point on, we became partners, and then Max was still there. Max is still trading, Max is still killing it. He's one of our great friends, like he's one of my great best friends, and he's one of Gio's great best friends. So those two did play a big role into making my trading better
Mm-hmm.
throughout time because knowing that those two were right next to me too, trading just like me and going through their losses and their wins, and they're seeing me win too. I think it's just a whole different like energy because like everybody's doing the same thing and everybody's winning.
Yeah.
And I always say this in life. When every like it's great when you're winning yourself, but when everybody around you's winning too, like in the same topic, it feels amazing. It
Feels 10
feels
times
great.
better. I feel the
Yeah,
same
it
way,
feels
bro.
10 times better, bro.
Winning with your
100%.
friends and close people around you is the best feeling ever, dude.
Yeah, man, 100%. So it's like, of course, and what I love about it is I'm able to share my wealth with my brothers.
Yeah.
You get me? And that's how I look at it. Like now that I'm at that point in my life, like yeah, I share my wealth. Like I share my wealth with my brothers. There's times we go out and I pay for everybody's food. You got me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even question it. Why? Because at the end of the day, the same way how I was blessed with this opportunity and this opportunity to become consistent and disciplined with what I do and to be able to share it now with my family and my brothers, bro. I can't say no to that,
Yeah.
bro. To me,
Doesn't
to
get
me
better
that
than
that's
that.
one of the best things you could ever do, bro.
Yeah.
Why? Because when I was down bad, I didn't have it like that. I wasn't able to feed my people like that. I wasn't even able to feed my family like that. Now that I'm actually, more stabilized and more up, I'm able to feed my loved ones. I'm able to feed my mother. I'm able to feed, my cousins. I'm able to feed my brothers, the people I consider like my family. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good feeling. It really is a good feeling because I worked so hard to make it to where I'm at today. And I'm able to keep providing for my people. And it's just gonna get better than what it is. Eventually, bro, I'm gonna get all of my brothers supercars.
Oh
Everybody's gonna have
yeah.
a Sea. Everybody's gonna have a Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
For bro, knowing me, I might just end up buying one of my partners a freaking condo at the beach. You get me?
Yeah, just
Once
'cause
I
that's
get
how
to
you
that point in
like.
my life, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
because I love to bless my people. I really do. I love to bless my people. And one thing I've also realized about life, like and succeeding is you must always give back. You must give back to receive no matter what. And majority of your intentions, when you give back, you will receive so many great blessings ahead of 110%, bro. Giving
Yeah.
back is so crucial. And even if you don't receive anything back, it's okay, bro, because God sees it all. Not to
Yeah,
even get religion into this, but the man up there sees it all. And if you know that you're moving with good energy and good intentions, and the universe is just flowing in your vibration, who's stopping you, bro? Like you're the
no one.
best.
Yeah, no one's
Literally,
stopping
like
you.
you know that you're the best version day in and day out, so you're gonna be the best version day in and day out. You get me?
Hmm.
Like, bro, it's so crazy. Yesterday, I was at CVS and I bought snacks for Max and Geo. And when aside from me buying snacks for them, um there was two homeless people outside, like just there sitting down, typical Miami homeless people,
Hmm.
because it's something you see out here, out here in Miami, you do see a lot of homeless people, it's crazy, but you see it,
Yeah.
it's something that you will experience if you come to visit. I'm
Hmm.
being honest,
Yeah.
so usually what I tend to do majority of the time, if I have cash on me or if I have food or whatever it is, I'm gonna hand it out to them. You get me?
Hmm.
Because why not? At the end of the day, it's a good deed, and I feel good inside just doing it genuinely.
Yeah.
Because I don't gotta record or anything like that. Like I'm gonna just genuinely do it because that's just who I am. I gotta give that good energy out and share my wealth. God says in the Bible, you must share your wealth to receive the abundance in life. You get
Hmm.
me? So I must share my wealth to receive more abundance and to receive just better blessings and better outcomes to come my way. So, I fed these two people outside in CVS. I went up to both of them. I said, "Hey, what do you guys want?" And they were like you're talking to me. I'm like, "Yeah, like, what do you want from CVS?" And they're like, "Oh, I know one guy was like, oh, I want Snickers and Doritos." And then the girl was like, "I want a gallon of water and literally like Skittles, I think it was." And I'm like, "Bet, like, I got you."
Yeah.
I went inside, I bought everything they wanted plus double. I got it double on purpose because I know they need it more than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just because I'm so good right now in life doesn't mean I can't keep sharing what I have. I must share my wealth. You get me? I must
Hmm.
share with my loved ones, with the ones who need it, because I know later on in the future I will be blessed.
Yeah.
I
You'll get
will
it
I will
back.
be taken care of. Absolutely. I'm not worried about it because I know I'm gonna get everything back.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, yeah, with leadership and consistency, yeah, you're gonna get it back.
Yeah, 100%. And I like what you were saying about like, even though you're up right now, not only not only is it important to feed people, but also it doesn't mean that you can't lose it all. You know what I'm saying? So while you're up
Absolutely.
and you're giving back, it's giving you that future kind of, like, I don't know the word to kind of say, but it's giving you that like force, like it's giving
Like
you
it's just like
it's giving you that
high energies.
forethought. Yeah, no, exactly. It's giving you like that forethought that once again, although you might have lost it, you can get it all back. And it's just a mindset. And
Absolutely.
it's that mindset that
It
you
is.
have. So I really like, I liked your story. I like you going over like how, you met Gio and Max and how they were able to help, you were able to help them and they're able to help you and you're able to show
Yeah,
your wealth and all that
absolutely.
type of stuff. Because it's really important is to surround yourself with good people that are willing to work hard and all that type of stuff. So is that kind of how the circle of Bethesda kind of started?
Basically, so it
Mm-hmm.
was Epic Sharks Club at first. Then me and Gio switched to the Pit Mafia family. We ran
Mm-hmm.
that up for like 2, 3 months. And then it got to a point where we wanted a more professional name. And then we went with Circle of Bethesda.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, the reason why we call it Circle of Bethesda is because when people ask and say, "Oh, what does Bethesda mean?" Just do me a favor, go on the Bible and look and search up the word Bethesda.
Mm.
Bethesda, it's a very uplifting word. Like there's a lot of meaning behind it. Like when you read the scriptures and everything, there's a big meaning behind it. And I feel like it's a great title and it's a great perspective and impact to the people who actually look it up and read it
And it just
and
fit your vision.
understand
Yeah.
and figure it out, like why we call it Bethesda.
Yeah.
When you figure out what the word Bethesda means, then you're gonna be like, damn, this it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Because when you get into things, you're like, damn, I don't know what I'm doing. But then when you understand what it is and why you're in it, it all makes sense.
Yep.
Everything snaps into place. You get me? And that's just how life goes, bro. Like
Yeah.
in
And
the beginning, you're lost.
yeah, and like you said before about like, life just, when you're living your truth, things just kind of fall in alignment and kind
It's
of
a
work out for
place.
the best. And that's kind of what you're talking about. That like, Max and Geo kind of fall in alignment with what you already had going on, and we're able to help,
Yeah.
all come together to elevate yourself. So I feel the same way
Yeah.
where life brings up opportunities and things not by accident. You know what I'm saying? Things happen, all the time on purpose. So I really like you, going over that. But before we get out of here, do you have any advice for just beginner traders, just anyone out there that's just starting their trading journey? What kind of steps would you tell them to kind of get started to maybe try to get to where you're at?
All right. So I'll say this in the very beginning, find yourself that has the results that you want. 110%.
Hmm.
Make sure they have the results and make sure they have the proof. you know
Find a
Make
mentor.
sure that, yeah, find yourself a mentor that's doing it like that.
Hmm.
Um, aside from that, aside from finding the mentor, I would say from that point on, study, like buy the course off of your mentor or whatever course he's selling, buy that course and study it A to Z. I want you to define every single word if you don't understand it and study it. And I say this for the most part, once you have that course for the next month to 3 months, like from like 1 to 3 months or 1 to 4 months, weekly, every day, like make it religious, like study, understand what you're getting yourself into, understand the platforms, you get me, understand the industry you're in right now,
Hmm.
understand how this flows, everybody, and then from that point on, it's really from that point on is
It's deeper
understand
than
the industry.
candlesticks. Yeah, it's deeper than
Yeah, it is.
candlesticks.
It's understand the industry, and literally from that point on, it's the psychology, understand the psychology, and understanding the emotions, understanding uh the executions when you're in that trade live, like what are you feeling at that moment, what's going through your mind, what's going through your veins at the moment.
Hmm.
And then aside from that, also I'll say understanding your risk management,
Hmm.
your trading plan, like am I obeying the trading plan or am I breaking the trading plan? You get me? So, that's super duper crucial and that plays a big, big role in the very beginning. So if you could get everything I just said down, like within within the first 4 to 5 months of you studying, then from that point on you should like you could go like go do a live account. You get
Yeah,
me?
0 to 100 real
Yeah,
quick. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what's
literally.
about trading is things can click so quickly, and that's like you were seeking out freedom and that lifestyle and all that type of stuff when you're looking at trading, and it's really true, guys. If you guys put in the work and really work hard and look at people, like you said, he had Lewis to look at that was really doing those numbers and stuff to
Yeah,
like kind of look up to, and when you kind of
yeah,
find
man.
that person to kind of push you harder, because once again, I always say YouTube University is great. You can go on YouTube, but at the end of the day, it's a big black hole of so much content that you're going to get sidetracked. I really recommend getting a mentor, getting a community that you really trust, learning the strategy, and then over time, it might not be for you, but you'll not know for a little bit. Don't just because the first loss you kind of took, don't just go and just give up on it. You know what I'm saying? Take data for 2 months, 3 months, and just stay consistent with it because I'm a big believer and there's so many strategies that work. Find the one that fits for you and just stick with it and work hard to then get where you want to be. Because once again, trading is a hard journey. It's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it. And that's why I kind of started this podcast to get to come on with people like yourself, like myself, and just kind of bond and talk about how we were able to kind of find consistency, find profits, and kind of get to where we were at because a lot of people look at us and want to, get in our position and stuff. And that's why we're here to help. And that's why, once again, I wanted to get you on here because you're always looking to help. You're
Yeah,
always looking to spit knowledge, give advice. And, I'm really proud of you. And, yeah, I see you would want to say something else. So, yeah, just keep going.
yeah. I got one more thing, bro. One thing I'll say about this that I personally realized, making a year now, April 7th,
Mm,
making a year of doing this seriously. Um, a lot of people love the lifestyle, but nobody wants to put in the work.
yeah, exactly.
So many people love this lifestyle, but nobody wants to put in the work, and then they complain about why they have the results they have.
Mm,
It's true, man.
it's so
And you
true.
got to realize that. You know what I mean? Majority of the people who fail in this industry are the people who love the lifestyle, but they don't want to sit down and put in the work.
Yeah.
So that's something I've realized, and I think it's crazy. But for the ones who put in the work, you're gonna become very successful and really exceed in this. For the most part, as I said, Lewis. Once again, Lewis, I look up to him. Like to be honest, in this whole industry, he's basically like one of the first people I really just looked up to because of everything he did in front of my face.
Hmm.
Just knowing how close I was to him. And to this day, like we still have a great relationship and we're still close to this day. Like he's one of my homies. I freaking love him like a brother. But like just seeing the results, seeing it happen in front of me and unravel in front of my eyes, it's like, damn, it gives you the belief that you're in the right path. You get me?
Hmm.
So, when you see your friends do crazy things and you're witnessing them with your own eyes, it's very inspirational and motivational.
Hmm.
And that's how I view it. You must be motivated that your friends are winning because you're gonna be the next winner, no matter
Yeah,
what.
you
So,
will be.
if you're motivated, bro, and and you're ready to run it up and you have the discipline, the consistency, you will become successful throughout time. Absolutely. But
Yep.
at the end of the day, what comes with leadership is showing up for yourself
Believe in
and
yourself.
showing up, yeah, believe in yourself and showing up for who you are. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? As I said, your purpose is key. Studying the laws of the universe is key. And bro, like just running it up. Like don't stop for anybody,
Yep.
like literally like fuck what anybody has to say. You get me? Like do what you gotta do. And if you're winning and your bills are currently like on automated and you're living that life, bro, keep it up, bro.
Yeah.
Because it's just gonna get better. Like
Oh
it's just
yeah.
gonna get better. And bro,
There's
honestly, life just gets better.
there's no limits to it.
Absolutely.
That's
Like
what I was
there's
talking
no
about it.
limit, bro.
There's no limits
There's
to where you
no
can take
limits to
trading.
life.
It's as hard as it's as hard as you want to work and how
Yeah.
hard you want to
You
push it,
know.
bro. But once again, I just really appreciate you for coming on here, bro. Really proud of you, what you've been able to do in such a short amount of time, just from even when I first met you to hopping on like one-on-ones and Zooms with you to then interviewing you and getting you on this podcast and being able to speak knowledge and stuff. And I liked, watching your content and seeing on your Instagram, even like this last week, you said something about not where you want to be, but not where you were a year ago. And, you're just going to keep progressing and stuff. And that's why I want to get on
Oh
here
yeah,
early,
man.
bro. I'm hoping in the future we'll hop back on another one when both of us are even on a whole nother level than we even are right now. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, there's no limits to any of this. But, I really do appreciate you for coming on here, spend some knowledge and really telling people your journey and how you're able to kind of, excel and succeed to get where you are now, living in Miami, killing it and living your dream after working, going through hardships, working 3 jobs,
There.
getting 2 hours of sleep, for a week to living in Miami, look at the view behind you, absolutely killing it, having the community you want, and inspiring others. So, Isaac, you're a goat. Appreciate you for all you do for the industry and what you're going to continue to do for the industry. And I really appreciate you for hopping on this podcast, everyone. But that's going to wrap up the 6th episode of the NoLimit podcast. Is there any last words you want to have the audience?
For the most part, guys, whoever you do business with, if they're really your friends, they'll keep you accountable.
Mm-hmm.
So if your friends keep you accountable, just know that they love you and they're telling you it for a reason. Never ever get offended and know when you're right and know when you're wrong and accept that.
Yep. Love that, bro. Well, guys, I'm going to leave Isaac's links in the description if you want to get a hold of him. Follow his Instagram, follow his YouTube, join Circle Bethesda. They're doing great things and they're only going to keep getting better over the
See.
years. So, once again, Isaac, thank you so much for coming. And that's a wrap on the 6th episode of the No Limit podcast. Peace, everyone.
The truth.